Today I got Moises Rodriguez from El Paso, Texas. He's this year 2025 the Golden Glove national champion at 18 years old, his first time in the elite men's division, and then he just got back this Sunday from the USA Boxing JOs and made it to the finals. And what how many fights did you have in that tournament?
In Las Vegas, I had 4 fights. So I fought
Four fights.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Uh, each day. It was a pretty good tournament, man. It was packed. So I'm happy about that tournament. It went good. I got a lot of fans, and I was just showing myself and showing them my skill out there.
Well, I'm thankful that you're here I want to share more about you. The first time I saw you was when you were doing interviews, because I think I'd follow you on Instagram and you were
Yeah,
doing interviews at these national tournaments. I thought that was a great idea. I was like, man, this kid is, he's a great interviewer. First of all, you're putting on for your teammates and your friends and everybody else, and then winning these tournaments. I'm like, okay, he won the tournament too. So I
yeah.
started seeing, of course, the talent that you have, bro. And so I just wanted to get to know you, and so can you share, a bit about your background, where you're from, and how you got started in boxing?
Oh yeah, of course. So yeah, as of right now, I'm 18 years old. I started when I was 8 years old, about 10, 11 years ago, and before starting boxing, I would play soccer. My parents always liked having me active and just being an athletic kid. I was energetic always, but ever since I was younger, I would be on the smaller side of the kids of my age group, but I would always, no matter what, they would push me around when I would play soccer and whatnot, and trying to get the better of me. But I would always fight back, and I was that like kid. Here we are. I'm hoping to go to the 2028 Olympics, but also there's some talks of me going pro. As of right now, I don't know, what's gonna be the next step. I'm just trying to be patient, but boxing has changed my life around. It's made me who I am, and I'm just thankful to meet everybody that I have. Gotten the opportunities that have been presented to me, and boxing is great. I love the sport now, and now I can't think what my life would be like without boxing. So yeah, my name is Moises Rodriguez. Keep watching me fight, support me if you can, and I'll just do the same to you.
Man, so you said 10 years of boxing, over 200 amateur fights. So I know to get to that point, you have to have, a team that is dedicated to taking you to everywhere to get these fights. So can you tell me about, I know is your dad your trainer?
Yeah, the team, honestly, it's my family. Like my immediate family, my mom, my dad, my sister. I have three little brothers, one older sister, and it's a family effort. Sometimes they say boxing, if you want to make it far, your life has to be boxing. You have to eat, sleep, live boxing. You can't be one foot in, one foot out. You have to go all in, and a big part plays with your family. So my dad, honestly, if it wasn't for him taking me to each tournament and getting me the experience, well, I wouldn't be where I'm at. And so thanks to him, I am where I'm at. And yeah, my dad's my main coach. My little brother also fights too. His name's Angel Rodriguez. He's 12 years old, and it's honestly just me, my little brother, my dad, and my mom. They're really involved in the sport and in the boxing. They're both judges, my mom and my dad, and yeah, without them pushing me, even when I'm done boxing at the gym, I'll come home and my dad will still, you know, he's like a coach as well, so he'll still come home and tell me what I need to fix. So a big part of where I'm at is
Wow, so your parents are judges, your little brother's fighting, so the whole family is involved.
yeah, the
and
whole family.
and like you said, that's a great message for these guys who they may see your viral clips and see you, but they got to know the dedication that you eat, sleep, and breathe this, like
Yeah, you have to. Of
you're
course, you always gotta have fun too. Just because sometimes things won't go your way, and you can't let that disappoint you or like this last tournament, I got second in Las Vegas, but I did want to win. I did want to get my 11th national title, but sometimes you gotta see the bigger picture. Maybe something else is gonna come better, and you can't let something disappoint you. You always have to keep it pushing and keep looking forward.
Man, let me just ask you about what you've done for your boxing scene, because was there much of a big boxing scene in El Paso right when you started, or
When we first started, actually, there wasn't. We only had like a little bit of shows in El Paso. More local boxers. More people starting as well. It wasn't as big as it is now. We do have a lot of more fighters. When I first started, I didn't even know about nationals and whatnot. The gym that we had gone to, uh, they really didn't take us. Well, when we first started, my dad wasn't my coach. He was always around it, but he started learning more and more as we went along. So I didn't go to nationals in the beginning. Maybe at 10, 11 years old, that's when I went to my first nationals, like 2 years down the road. But as of right now, we do have a lot of more fighters. There's professional fighters, amateur boxers as well. So we are growing drastically. Uh, and I feel like the more we grow, the more we're gonna get more attention to El Paso, Texas. And we do have a lot of for as small as we are, we do have a lot of uh, upcoming boxers.
man, that's amazing. So y'all are you're a part of this big change happening for sure, and then
Hopefully, I'm hoping.
I think so,
Yeah,
and especially with social media, and you've been great at it. I think that it was a really cool thing you did with the interviews, and shining a light on the people you're with while you're winning tournaments. You know what and
yeah.
that was real cool to show love. And so you said that there might be other opportunities coming up. Is there anything you could talk about? Because the Olympics, you said 2028 is an aspiration, but you're having a big year.
Road like I think we're 3 years from it or four because we're in 2025. But that is definitely a goal of mine. I would like to go to Olympics. But yeah, there's a lot of managers, that are looking at me right now. Calling me, asking me if I want to go pro, and if the contract or the money is right, or if they give me a good deal and it makes sense, then maybe I will maybe go that other route of going pro. I'm 18 years old, I'm still young, but advice I would give to young boxers, coming up 12, 13 years old, 14, 15, is first, before you plan on going pro, make sure to get a lot of experience, and just grow mentally and physically. When you do go pro, that's like your career. You can't mess up. Once you go pro, that's it. You can't go back. And but amateurs, it's just about getting the most experience you can get. One loss, it's okay. Two, three, you keep moving forward and you keep learning. So from right now, I don't know. If I can say what I am gonna do, but I have been talking to my dad and my family and seeing what's the best decision for me. So maybe it is gonna go pro, or maybe it's going to go to Olympics. But I'm hoping to represent Team USA. I have to win in December to get on the team, so that's my next goal for right now.
Man, that's a great goal. And so you being at the top of this, you've been competing at the top level for probably half of your whole career, right? Competing in
Yeah,
nationals. So you've seen, I think, the cream of the crop in the US. You fought the same guys, you're going to see the same guys. Did you get
yeah.
any international experience yet?
Yeah, actually, I have my Mexican citizenship, my dual citizenship, so I actually have fought in Mexico. Um, I fought over there. I was a Chihuahua state champ, so like a state champ over there. I also went to Monterrey and I fought over there for regionals. So I was representing Chihuahua over there in Mexico. I also got invited to the nationals in Mexico, but it is kind of far from El Paso, Texas, and there's also a lot of politics over there. They don't like seeing a kid from the United States coming in and beating their guys over there. Um, but yeah, actually, I've also gotten well, you know how they had a, a tournament in Colorado for the Team USA, and
Mm-hmm.
other teams came over. I had went to that tournament, not to compete, but also to spar with the other countries. I
Mm,
sparred with Singapore, Brazil, uh, Kazakhstan, also what other teams? Well, there was a lot of teams over there, and they were getting work, so I had to go over there and show them that the kid from El Paso, Texas, can also get good work too.
man, so you there are the Chihuahua state champ. What
Yeah.
so what year did you go and do that?
I won this year and I also won last year.
So you're two-time.
Yeah, two-time Chihuahua State champ,
Wow.
and then also I won regionals both this year and last year. Cause over there you have to win first in well your city, and then you win in state, and then regionals, and then you advance to nationals. So if you keep winning all those, you go to nationals over there. It's kind of different from over here.
Okay. So
Yeah,
that's pretty similar to there's some guys from Dallas who like Carlos Martinez and Emiliano and Hector Beltran Jr. They've been to
yeah,
Mexico's and won nationals and kind of put their name on the map. And they said the same thing where they're looking at you, you know, as the
yeah,
outsider out there, yeah,
yeah.
and the tournament. So it's a different type of pressure, huh, when you're the
Yeah, when you're competing over there, yeah, it is kind of different. You have to, you know, just be careful, be safe. Stay with your team, and of course, you want to do good.
man. So you said December is the next big tournament, the next
Yeah.
big goal, and then you'll
Oh, there's
qualify
one
for the
in
Olympics
September.
in
Yeah, yeah.
September as
There's one in
well.
September. There's one in Oklahoma, Tulsa, Oklahoma, in September. That's a nationals, and then the important one is in December. That one is a tournament in Lubbock, Texas. So if you get first place or second as an elite, they take you to help on the team. So that's my next big goal.
What are your thoughts on on the Olympic team and because I think there's a lot of opinions, but your goal is to make it, to be on it, and so how hard is it to make that team?
December, I got second in the tournament that was in Richmond, Virginia, and I'm hoping that they give me a call to go train at the um, uh, the camp in Colorado Springs. Because I believe if you did get second in December, they take you as a sparring partner or a training partner. But I haven't got a call yet. But yeah, it's just different. I feel like they like a certain type of style, and there's nothing wrong with that. USA boxing, they're known to like a certain type of style and whatnot. But it's our job to you know figure out how to beat those type of fighters and get in there and do our best. And I feel like I've always got the short end of the stick, but that has also made me be where I'm at right now. And it's helped me push and just be a different fighter. I can fight all different ways. I can box, brawl if I have to. I can move around the ring. Um, but when the judges are against you, it's definitely kind of harder. But no excuses. We're gonna get back in the gym and keep working. But the main thing, if I do believe if you do win in December at the tournament, first place, they automatically have to take you and give you a chance to get on the team. So you know, no matter what if they do have politics, if you won first place in December, then they do take you on the team and they you compete for the spot on the team. So that's my next goal. And once I do get hopefully once I do get on the team this December, they start taking you to compete out internationally, like at the events that they're having. Right now they have the elite team in a different country. They're training and sparring, and they're going to be at a tournament. And all I want is to show my skills internationally. I know I've shown them here nationally as well. Um, but I do think that if I go out internationally, I can do very good against those other countries. Um,
For
so
sure.
that is the next goal. It is hard, but I know nothing is impossible.
Yeah, I mean, I think you have the pedigree. You've shown you can do it, and like you can beat all those different styles. 200
Yeah,
fights and still winning and showing your skills against all types of different styles. But then you look at it like the Olympics. They haven't had a gold. The U.S. team hasn't had a gold medalist since 2004 with
yeah,
Andre Ward.
exactly.
So it's like
Yeah.
something has to these
That's what
gotta change.
I've been saying, man. No disrespect to UFC boxing, but they pick these fighters, their type of style of fighters, and it would be different if they were winning internationally and they were getting medals,
Hmm.
but if something's not working, then might as well change it and try to put different fighters up against the other countries so to see how it would play out. But I know we did get a bronze medalist in this last Olympics. We got a bronze medalist, and I don't think anyone else placed. Uh, missed. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, they should give other people the shot just to show how they would do against those other countries.
Yeah, and yeah, I forgot. I mean, that's with just males because the females, the Clarissa Shields, she brought home those two gold
Yeah,
medals
two
back
gold
to
medals.
back, and I
Yeah,
don't think any man has done that
yeah,
in boxing ever. So she put on, and she's still putting on, and so shout out to her too. But yeah, I mean,
yeah,
it's been a long time since they've had a big year. I think of making a lot of gold medalists. So I think you're
yeah.
right. So I want to talk about the great year you've had so far because we're only 6 months into the year. And was the first big tournament you got in, was that the state or Golden Gloves or
Um, let me think. The time that we were competing in uh this whole year, I was competing in the beginning of the year. I was competing in Mexico and the United States. I was So first they had the Lubbock Golden Glove. So first you have to win in your city to make it to state. So I won in Lubbock as well, and then around that time I was fighting in Juarez, Mexico, to compete in a state over there in Mexico. So I was competing in both sides. So I fought in Lubbock and I won, and then I went to state, and I believe that was Fort Worth. I went to state and fought, and then also I went to Chihuahua and fought. And then from there, I won both of my tournaments, and then I
but all right, so you won state in Mexico and state in Texas around the
yes,
same time.
yeah, and then I won them. Yeah, around the same time. Like I would fight. I remember I went to go fight in Lubbock 2 days, Friday and Saturday, and then when I went back to El Paso, I fought that Sunday in Juarez, and then the next week I fought like a regular smoker show in Las Cruces on Saturday, and then on Sunday I fought in Juarez because sometimes they have fights on Sundays. It's different over there, but yeah, I fought on a Sunday, and then I went to state for Golden Gloves, and then state for Chihuahua.
Wow. So can I ask you, comparing these tournaments and the caliber of guys you were up against, which one do you think was the most competitive, or which one you learned the most from?
I think the in Mexico they do have a different style of fighting. They are different, um, but the tournament in Fort Worth, I fought against some good guys. I fought against Alex Espinosa from Dallas. He's a very good fighter as well. I beat him split decision. And I also fought a kid from Houston, and he was a very good fighter. So I would say the tournament probably in Fort Worth was a little bit harder than the one in Chihuahua. But I also fought two times, in Chihuahua, and I fought versus a kid that placed second nationally, and another kid that was from he was from I believe it was the city of Chihuahua as well. But they were all good fighters, but I would give it to Fort Worth State Golden Gloves. It was a pretty
Wow.
tough tournament, that one.
Yeah, that's where I was at. I was with my dad. My dad is Paulie Ayala. He's the former world champ from here, so he
Yeah,
loves checking out the local guys. And I mean, this because we always have state here, and so I was aware of you, and we knew who Alex Espinoza was. So like, oh, this is gonna
yeah,
be the match of the. This is gonna be one of the matches of the night or the tournament. We got to go see this, and it was a great fight, and you did a great performance against, like you said, a great high caliber opponent, and
yeah. I
oh, you go for it.
I actually took a picture with your dad
Yeah,
at State Golden Gloves. Me and my little brother. It's
yeah, I
cool.
remember that. And
Yeah,
one thing that's notable too is that you're 18, so it is your first year competing in the
yeah. It
men's
was my
division,
first year. Yeah,
and so that's pretty big to come up in the men's division because I believe the age goes from 18 to 35 or something. So you could be
yeah. Like
fighting,
18 to 38.
yeah, so you're fighting all types of grown men, and for you to not only compete but win at that level is an impressive thing because people, I don't know, they don't realize Texas is hard to get out of. Like you said, Fort Worth was
Yeah,
a memorable tournament for you, and to
yeah. It
get out of
definitely was.
Texas is it takes talent and it takes heart, and then you made it to nationals and won nationals, and so
Yeah.
what can you say about the differences between that Golden Glove Nationals you won and this one in USA Boxing in Vegas that you just competed in?
Oh, well, it is definitely different. When you go to Golden Gloves Nationals, you compete with a team. You're representing your state. I was representing Texas, and I'm glad to represent Texas. But it's definitely different. You have more support, and they pay for your food, they pay for your hotel. So you're definitely grateful to be there. Competing and representing your state. But when you go to USA Boxing National Tournament, sometimes you go by yourself. You don't have a team. You'll go just with your coach and your family and whatnot. But I do think they have at Golden Gloves Nationals, they're a little bit more they like a different style of fighting. They like seeing you fight and sit down and work. They also do like you boxing as well. So it's just different. But this was my first year going, and I definitely did like it. I fought 5 times in Golden Gloves Nationals, Tuesday to Saturday. So it's definitely a long tournament. I got tired after that one, but I did like it. They also, I heard, well, since I won, they're gonna send me a ring with my name and date on it of the tournament, and just saying that I won the Golden Gloves. They also gave me a pair of gloves and like little a bag, so it was definitely cool. I liked it, and it's way different than it's a different franchise than USA Boxing, so it was
Mhm.
it was definitely different, but it was cool. I liked it.
Yeah, I like that you said the team aspect because that is pretty cool that y'all go out, y'all room together. So you're living with these guys, the whole week, and y'all just fighting the best in the country who made it. So yeah, you're living with your roommates. Y'all are fighting every day, the best in the country, and yeah, they're different tournaments, different judging. Like people who maybe just see your clips that go viral on Instagram, like they don't know the different tournaments, the different organizations, the structure behind it. Like, so I'm glad that you were talking about the teammate aspect of that because that is pretty cool.
Yeah,
That so and another thing is that it's a lot of the same guys. Would you say that you see at USA Nationals, at the Golden Glove Nationals?
um yeah, yeah. You know what? I had fought Yashore there as well, and then Alex Espinosa. He actually fought Yashore too. So it is sometimes it is the same guys. Just the difference is that at these last tournaments that I fought at youth. I just turned up to elite. So those youth guys couldn't go to the Golden Gloves because they were younger. It was 18 and over. But I did see some fighters that I have fought before and whatnot, that I did see them competing. So it is kind of boxing. I say the boxing community is small. If you kind of know everybody, but
Hmm.
it is growing. And I was fighting older men, so it was definitely different. I fought people. I fought Ohio. I fought Colorado, New Mexico. I fought who else did I fought? I fought fighters from all around the United States, and they were on the older side. So it was definitely a different a group this time, but still some of those top fighters that would go to USA Boxing Nationals were there. Like Marcus Luther, you know, other fighters that just go to nationals as well.
And I like that you broke it down of what you like about the tournaments, and because like you said, amateur boxing, the judging is different just from tournament to tournament. From wanting to have Olympic ambitions, how those guys are scoring the fights, and Golden Gloves, like you said, they kind of like more of a pro style of
Yeah,
judging. And so people don't really understand that, and then you just get 3 rounds to beat the guy, and you're fighting a
yeah,
different guy every day. And so
yeah,
different styles every day, different judges in a different tournament, USA Boxing compared to Golden Gloves. And of course, USA Boxing has the Olympics, so that's the main one. And you get ranked, the Olympic ambitions. But I think Golden Gloves is still valuable to you young guys and gives you a lot of experience, like you said, the team experience, fighting older guys, and you're going to meet some high caliber guys in there too. So. Um, Can one thing though that I noticed with you is you seem very respectful. You're well spoken. You're smart. 18-year-old kid. You're very well spoken and smart. And that clip that they posted at the end of the finals, you were kind of heated after that. So tell me, were y'all talking to each other during the match, or what happened at the you know
Um,
throughout that fight?
Well, yeah, throughout the fight, man, they had a big crowd. My mom was there. My little brothers.
Hmm.
My family. Uh, and they did have a big crowd. I know I had beat them, twice, so I guess they were a little bit I'm not mad, but of course they wanted to come to beat me. They came competitive. Boxing is a competitive sport. You know what I mean? Of course you have to be respectful and whatnot, but it's not a sport like baseball or soccer. You're gonna get hit. You're gonna get hit hard. So emotions run high in the sport of boxing. So yeah, there was definitely some words that were exchanged, but at the end of the day, it was a good fight. Congratulations to him for winning. But I'll be back. Definitely, we'll definitely have to run it back. And yeah, some words were exchanged, because I did see my mom in the stands. They were kind of they did have a big crowd, and they were kind of telling things to my mom and whatnot. And then the kid had he started pulling on my arms in the fight.
Hmm.
Like he would hold me when I would get close to him, and that's fine. That's boxing. Clinching is part of the sport. And but when we would clinch, he would pull on my arm. So I had told the ref about it, because if you can pull on someone's arm, you can hurt them. That's not a it's boxing, throwing punches. So I think they have video when we kind of got into a little tussle in the ring, and then after that he started to say stuff. So emotions got high, and we had some exchange of words.
You guys will definitely rematch
Yeah,
and probably see each other in the pros too.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, definitely. I've seen like those fights where it's like they used to fight in the amateurs, and someone would win or lose, and then they do meet in the pros, and it's something to talk about. So
Yeah,
hopefully one day we I'll probably see him again in the amateurs, but one day if we run it back in the pro, it'll be a way bigger fight. More media will be there and whatnot, and I'm excited to see what the future holds.
for sure. Yeah, I was saying the difference between amateur and pros is a whole other world. So, have you stepped in the ring, with any pros, or tell me your experience if you have, and how that went.
No, yeah, I've definitely I sparred a lot of pros, heavier, lighter. Uh, it is definitely different. They do have a different. They're more patient, more stronger, a little bit stronger. But I've actually the last time I sparred with a pro, I went to the Robert Garcia gym in California before the Las Vegas to kind of. I was out there for a week trying to get a like a little camp to get me ready for Las Vegas. But I did spar some professional boxers out there. I sparred with one guy. His name is Christopher Rios. He's gonna fight Steven Navarro. Uh, he's gonna fight Steven Navarro, I think, in July. So I did spar him. I've also sparred, other fighters like his name is he fought Naoya Inoue. What's his name? He's a Mexican fighter. He's a Jose Neri, if you
Oh,
know
okay,
him.
yeah,
I
yeah,
sparred
yeah,
him
yeah.
as well. I yeah, I've just sparred a bunch of different fighters. Sometimes some local fighters. I've sparred fighters from Fort Worth. Um, yeah, I've sparred the from the highest level amateurs. I've sparred them to high pro boxers.
So you've seen it all and you're ready for it all. And man, it's going to be exciting to follow you to your Olympic dreams or into pro or whatever comes first. It's going to be an exciting ride. I'm glad I got to talk to you and before and shine light on you and be a part of the journey from the beginning. And so one last thing is, can you tell the people where they can follow you at, and when they want to follow your career, your social media?
Okay, no, yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. You guys can follow me on Instagram at official Moises Rodriguez. Also on Facebook at Moises Rodriguez. And yeah, I just appreciate you for letting me come on here and give an opportunity to tell people a little bit about me, and just thank you. I appreciate it.
Man, appreciate you, Moises. We're going to be following you, and good luck in Chicago and in your training in Colorado and
Yes,
your
sir.
future tournaments, man. We're going to be tuned in.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it.